Yep, bad news. An inevitable part of life. The low tire pressure gauge is on the dashboard. You can see it there. So what do we do? And oh no, it's raining outside. Well, I am going to show you my method, and hopefully this can help you out. Now, good news is that it's a really easy fix. Bad news is that you might have to invest in something, or might want to invest in something up front to have a little bit more control and convenience, because you never know when those tires are going to get low. Now, this particular vehicle does not have a tire gauge built into the dashboard or assist of the tires itself, so I have to do it manual style. And so that requires having one of these little guys in your glove compartment. And it's really easy to check the tire pressure. You unscrew the plastic cap and you just do that. Now be careful, if you tilt it too far to the left or to the right, it will actually let air out of your tires and have the opposite effect. You don't want air out, you want to be putting air in. Not right now, but very, very soon. We'll be doing that in the next step. Right now we're just trying to figure out which tire is low in pressure. And you can see here the number. This gauge reads pretty accurately, and you can give it kind of 2 different pumps, reset it each time before, just to make sure you got that number correct. And once you get the hang of it, it'll only take 1 time. Alright, so all 4 tires, if you don't have the indicator of the number on your dashboard. And as soon as you notice your light go on, you want to pull over pretty quickly. You don't want to risk, especially if you're like on the highway, right? You don't want to risk continuing having an issue. So this is why I recommend buying one of these little manual pumps, or these little manual, I'll talk about the pump in a minute, but the manual gauge. They're super affordable, super cheap, and you can see here, for example, we've got about 20 PSI on this tire. That is insufficient and probably the culprit here. And yeah, you can kind of see it's low, but honestly, it's unless it's really flat, you're not going to be able to visually see very well the difference between 30 psi and 22 psi, in my experience in this particular vehicle anyway. So the other purchase I was referring to is actually a little travel tire inflator, little pump. I highly recommend getting one of these. They make several different options. In this video we'll look at 2. This is my probably most preferred one because it has a cool little feature on it besides the little travel bag. And the cord kind of gets messy. It's not the perfectly designed system, but you can certainly shop around. And I'll put this link down below in the description, and a couple of other recommended models that I think would be good purchasing decisions to save you endless hours of research, right? If you're like me, that's about what I do. I waste so much of my life researching products. I got to make sure that this is the perfect buy. Anyway, it's got a little LED light on it, which is a nice feature if you're doing this at in the dark. And you plug it into your cigarette adapter. And major tip here, it's not just a tip, it's a requirement. Make sure your engine is running, because this will deplete your battery. It's running off your car battery, and if you don't have your engine running, guess what? You've got a dead battery on your hands. And of course, flat tire and a dead battery, not a good combination. So we're going to make sure that engine is on and running. We're going to check the side of the driver's door for the recommended tire pressure PSI number. And this little pump has a feature where you can set it and forget it. In other words, you press the plus or minus button to indicate how many PSI you want on there, and then go ahead and turn it on. And guess what? It'll automatically shut off when it gets to that number that you programmed in it. We're going to get that out of the rain. I don't know how waterproof that is. I did not test that. And then you're going to kick back and relax. Now be careful that if that door blows closed, it's going to hurt that cord maybe. So you can prop open your door with a little something like a Coke bottle or something, or maybe even a jacket. You just don't want that slamming closed. You can also run this through your open window if it's not raining, as opposed to an open door. And we're just going to wait, like I said. We'll get that filled up. That's what I was talking about. We'll just grab some hand wipes and prop the door open so it does not pinch or sever the cord. So this really could not be any easier. This is the way to go for sure. Complete control. You don't have to wait in line at a gas station. You don't have to seek out a gas station, right? You just pull over and do this. Now in our other vehicle, we've got a little compartment here that I made, and I've got an older model. This one works a little differently, and it's less convenient. It's a little more higher powered, I would say, but it looks more like a mobile air pump or a transportable air pump. But what you're going to do is actually open the hood. You'll plug this in like that. There we go. And those terminals, you can see the black and the, it's kind of like jumper cables, right? They actually, you open the hood and then apply the red and the black to your battery terminals themselves directly. So there's no cigarette lighter adapter. I don't even know if they make these anymore. It's pretty old, but it's got a lot of power and it certainly gets the job done. It's totally mobile and it's got one of those needle gauges on it. So you just take off the cap and screw it in like that, create a seal, and then turn it on. Make sure your engine, of course, is running. You will kill the battery, if not, pretty quickly. And then you can store that back whenever you're done with it. So, and you can read the instruction manual. You're not supposed to let it run for a certain number of minutes, right, before it needs to have time to cool down, et cetera, et cetera. But the technology is only getting better and better here, I think. So this is almost done. And how much time does it take? I don't know. It depends on what your low tire pressure is, right? This was kind of at 20, and to fill it up at 30, it probably took, I don't know, in a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes. I didn't time it exactly, but you can see it shut off, and we'll manually verify that was a match. So the number is accurate on this little guy. And then we're going to put everything back together again. Of course, at this point, you would make sure that all 4 tires are good to go. But we found the low tire. And then you replace the caps. And then package it all back up in the travel case. Just like that. Zips up nicely. And it's really lightweight too, this one. It's all plastic pretty much. And it stores very well if you have room underneath in your cargo area. It's kind of flat, low profile, so it stores a lot better. And then watch this. Boom. It turns off. Hopefully this video has helped you out. Click that like button if it has, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.